With Jinbei now a part of the Straw Hat Pirates, I look forward now more than ever to when the Straw Hats and the Revolutionary Army meet again. What's up, YouTubers of the world? MegaGeekMixer here to do a One Piece theory discussion video on when Jinbei and Koala meet again, because I'm pretty sure they have not seen each other ever since Jinbei, back when he was a member of the Sun Pirates, took her back to her home village and her home island. And who knows, we still don't know for a fact if Jinbei knows she's a part of the Revolutionary Army. Now, knowing Koala after joining the Revolutionary Army, and as we know, the Revolutionary Army is good at gathering information on events and everything, so no doubt she knows about a few things going on with Jinbei here and there. And I'm not quite sure if the newspapers have let it be known yet, but whether they have or whether they haven't, I'm sure the Revolutionary Army will soon find out about Jinbei now being part of the Straw Hat Pirates, because as y'all saw, when Ivankov met Sanji, he already had the wanted poster of Brook, and Brook wasn't really known back then as having joined the crew, and this was before the time skip started. It was really after the time skip that the whole world knew of Brook being a part of the Straw Hat Pirates and who he was back when he was alive. So yes, no doubt she'll know soon enough that Jinbei is now a part of the Straw Hat Pirates, and that'll make me be excited to when I see her and Jinbei meet again. But with all that said, though, I gotta wonder, how will their reunion be? Because there's still a few other things out there that are still unanswered. Like, for a fact, we still don't know if Koala ever knew that her village sold out Fisher Tiger when Fisher Tiger had brought her back to her home village and back to her mother. But you know what, guys, before I do all that, why don't I just really share with you guys the connection here Jinbei and Koala have, and then go more into this. So basically, now as we know, currently Jinbei, he's a member of the Straw Hat Pirates, and he used to be a member of the Sun Pirates, who I suspect might be a member of the Straw Hat Grand Fleet going down the road, which I think will be interesting right there. And you know, Koala, currently a member of the Revolutionary Army and everything. But the past these two share together is that Koala, she was a former slave. Jinbei, he wasn't a former slave, but his captain and brother in arms, Fisher Tiger, was. After Tiger had come back from escaping from slavery and then going back to free all the slaves, Koala was set free along with them. But unfortunately, she couldn't get back home, and eventually the Sun Pirates, when they were formed, and Jinbei, who was a member of the Sun Pirates, eventually found her at an island where people were taking care of Koala, and eventually she went on, joined the Sun Pirates so they could take her home. That was where Jinbei and Koala first met. And really, their relationship, while we didn't ever get to see too much of it, one thing you can take away from it is this. Now, Jinbei, back then, he didn't really have the personality he has now in the present. Much more honorable and friendly. I mean, he had honor still and everything. Don't get me wrong on that end. It's just that when it came to the whole human and fishman relationship, he didn't really think much of it. And whenever he heard the queen of his island, Fishman Island, Queen Otohime, who was doing her best to help the civilization of Fishman Island know that we can make peace with humans, we can have good relationships with them, no matter how much bad experience we've had with them. Jinbei was like, yeah, whatever, I don't care about that. But it wasn't until he met Koala and started to realize, and throughout his journey, that he saw that humans do hate them, but not because they just think they're disgusting. They're just scared of them. And then he asked Koala, why are they so afraid of the fishmen? Koala said it's because they don't know much about them. That right there helped Jinbei to his starting point of believing a better relationship between humans and fishmen. But the real thing that cemented it was when, after Fisher Tiger had taken Koala back home, unfortunately, like I said, Koala's village sold out Fisher Tiger, my bad. sold out Fisher Tiger to the Marines so they would overlook Koala being a slave and sending her back to the Tenryu Bitu that she was slaves to. And on his deathbed, he said he truly thinks that Otohime is right and that fishmen and humans can have better relationships. And he wants to hope for the next generation, that being Koala's generation, to be able to make that happen. That right there is what submitted Jinbei into knowing that humans and fishmen can learn to be friends. That's where he started to support Otohime more. And that's actually why he actually became a member of the Shishibukai to begin with. Now that I've said all that, let me real quick say about Koala. Now, as we know, Koala, Revolutionary Army, and she joined when she was 14 years old. This was 3 years after Fisher Tiger's death. And here's the kicker here. She was invited into the Revolutionary Army, or better yet, recruited. I don't know if she was invited, but she was recruited by a fishman. That fishman being Hack. And Hack is actually friends with Jinbei, which Hack has stated himself. But we don't know much about their friendship. This is what'll make things more interesting going forward for when Jinbei meets up with the Revolutionary Army, when he sees Hack and Koala. And not to mention, Koala also is a master of Fishman Karate. And not like a master of it, but enough of a master of Fishman Karate to be an assistant teacher. And she learned all this from Hack. Now, with all that said, though, come on, guys. Can no one say there will be interesting when Jinbei finally gets to meet Koala? I mean, we still don't know how the encounter will be, because when we think about it, we don't really know how Jinbei feels after knowing that her home island's village sold out him and Fisher Tiger to the Marines. Although he's an honorable guy and he's a prospective guy and an understanding person. So if I know Jinbei, and I'm hoping I'm right here, that he won't hold anything against Koala for what her village did, especially when she had nothing to do with it. And hey, we still don't know if Koala knows about it either. I would like to hope she does, and I would like they hope they'll give us a flashback. Otis will give us a flashback on her reaction to her village and what they did. And if she doesn't, maybe when she meets Jinbei will let her know. Or probably not, because he probably wouldn't want her to hate her own village for what they did. But you never know. It could go either way, because it's just hard to say what's the right move to make around here in this world, because life is just a mess. It's just not that simple. You just can't know what's the right move to make right then and there or in the long game. It's nuts. But one thing's for certain, if there is part of it, if it's something of a neutral reunion, not a happy reunion, like maybe happy at first but then comes neutral later, it still won't matter, because I'm pretty sure Jinbei will be amazed at how grown up Koala is, because yeah, I'm not gonna lie, Koala looks fine. Yes, I said that. And yeah, when you think about it, she being able to do Fishman Karate and the skills she's learned with it, I'm sure Jinbei would be very impressed by that, because I don't think he knows of a human that can do Fishman Karate, and if he finds out that Koala is able to do it, I'm sure he'll be very impressed and very proud of her. But not only that, we gotta also remember that no doubt Koala will be happy to see Jinbei, because when she was with the Sun Pirates on her travels there, she formed great bonds with not just Hachi and a guy named Marco, but with Jinbei too. And considering how she formed that bond, no doubt she would like to see him again and have that reunion and show him everything she's done ever since then. Not to mention telling him why she joined the Revolutionary Army. Sure, she joined because she doesn't want anyone to go through the persecution she went through as a kid. No, she doesn't want that for anybody. But also in the fact that she also wanted to be a part of the Revolutionary Army to help fishermen too. She knows about the whole human and fishman relationship and things as a whole, and she wants to try to help them have a better home and better treatment between human society. And as a matter of fact, in her latest episode, the last episode she was in, Betty actually talked with her, saying that is she conflicted considering how the Fishman Island Kingdom Ryuga Kingdom or something like that. I hope I said that right. Probably didn't. But she asked if she felt conflicted knowing they were part of the Reverie. But Koala made it clear that they are just trying to declare war on the celestial dragons. And makes sense since celestial dragons are really the ones who control the world, well, second next to the five elder stars and that Ima guy. It's understandable how relationships between humans and fishmen are still going to be a lot harder considering how the Tenryu B2 are still in control of things. But but even still, if this can be like another step for her, and in the fact that if she sees Jinbei with the Straw Hat Pirates and knowing the Straw Hats, especially with being friends with Sabo. And speaking of which, I think there's more there between those two, Sabo and Koala, but just want to throw that out there. But I'm pretty sure she'll be very happy to know that there's a fishman, much less Jinbei, the former warlord, the one she was friends with and knows very well back then, is on the crew. And no doubt, I would think she would also love that if the Sun Pirates are still out there and become a part of the Straw Hat Grand Fleet, that's another example of showing how she'd be happy knowing that everyone she knew back then is okay, and with people she thinks can really help build the bridge between fishmen and humans. So, with the way I look at it, I do hope and pray that this reunion, for the most part, will still be happy, but at the same time, ties up some loose ends to some people like us who have questions. Does Koala know that her village betrayed Fisher Tiger? Will Jinbei have a bit of a grudge or resentment towards her? If not her, to her island, and just try to and let her know if she doesn't know, or will he not let her know so she doesn't hate her own family and stuff? It's hard to really say, but one thing's for certain, no, now that Jinbei is part of the crew, and when news gets out there or the Revolutionary Army finds out about it, it's gonna be some awesome reunion, not just for Luffy and Sabo. As for Luffy and Dragon, that one's probably gonna be something like you don't really know what to say. They'll probably keep it casual, because I don't see it being like, Dad, oh, I've missed you. I can't believe I finally get to meet you. No, I don't see something like that happen. I think it's going to be like casual saying, oh, so you're my dad. How you doing? And stuff like that. But I bet I can definitely see maybe Robin even telling Jinbei about Koala. That's if she brings it up, if ever Luffy brings up about Sabo or anything. But there's no telling, because right now we still don't know what happened to Sabo. We just know that there's some disturbing news that didn't sit well with people who love and care for Sabo, like the Revolutionary Army, people in Fushiyashi Village. So we gotta wait for that to see what's going on there. And considering how if more word gets out on the newspapers when the Straw Hats leave Wano and Jinbei sees it, and if maybe say Koala's in that newspaper when they're talking about the Revolutionary Army, you never know. But I highly doubt it, because Koala hasn't really been noticed by the public when it comes to being part of the Revolutionary Army. That's because she kind of is conspicuous. She's able to blend in because she's more of a spy than a fighter like some of the other guys are. But I've rambled on enough. I really think that though the theory discussion here about Jinbei and Koala's future meeting, I think it's pretty much going to go in the sort of directions I've mentioned. Jinbei being impressed with her fisherman karate, Koala happy to see him and seeing with the Straw Hat Pirates and all, and also like to see more about Jinbei and Hack's friendship. That'll be cool. But I'm going to stop right there, guys, and if you're enjoying my videos, all you got to do is click that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon to be notified when I make more videos, and until then, MegaGeekMixer signing out. Bye!